Hey y'all, I'm Donna. Welcome to my garden. Today I want to make a carrot cake. I like the ones that are real moist and they're kind of old-fashioned. They remind me of a cake you'd probably find at a bake sale, maybe if you were driving deep in the country and you stumbled on a little church and all the grandmas brought their best cakes. So anyway, I hope you can give this recipe a try. I'll leave all the ingredients right here if you want to jot them down, or I'll also put them in the description area of the video so you can copy them to your computer if you like. Okay? So I grew a lot of carrots this year, and I'll leave a link at the end of this video if you want to try to grow carrots maybe this season if you have a long growing season, or give it a try next year. They're real easy to grow. Okay, so we'll start by peeling our carrots, and then you can grate those in a box grater, and then after that just give them a little rough chop just to kind of break them down a little bit. And we are also going to use cranberries instead of raisins for this recipe. Now if you don't like cranberries, go ahead and use raisins. I am going to use these orange flavored cranberries that I happen to have in my pantry for this recipe, and I got these at Trader Joe's. This will make it really good because the frosting that we're going to use also has a little bit of orange zest in it. So go ahead and get your pineapple. You can just use what's in the can, and we'll strain that and use the juice for that. Put it in a saucepan. Reserve about 1/4 cup of the juice. Just set that aside, and then with the juice from the pineapple, add just a little bit more water, enough to cover up the carrots and the cranberries in a saucepan, and we are going to simmer that for about 10-15 minutes. You just want to kind of get those cranberries plumped up, but you really don't want to try to cook out all of the orange flavor. You will lose some of that orange flavor with these cranberries, but it's going to make your house smell so good when you're doing this too. So anyway, so once those have plumped up, go ahead and strain them and set them aside and let them cool while we go ahead and get our batter ready. Okay, so I like to use cake flour whenever I make cakes, and we are going to sift this out. So I measured first and then I sifted it. You know, whenever you read a cake recipe or something like that and it says, for instance, like 1 cup of flour and then it'll have a comma sifted, then you measure it first and then you sift it. If it says 1 cup sifted flour, then you sift first and then you measure. And that's not really a big deal for this cake recipe, but I know in some recipes it can be a big deal. So I just thought I would throw that piece of information out there. Okay, so we'll go ahead and add our flour, our baking soda, and our salt, the sugars. We have 2 different kind of sugars. We're going to use dark brown sugar. We'll add fresh grated nutmeg and cinnamon. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get our wet ingredients ready in a separate bowl. So to your eggs, you will add some oil and some vanilla. Go ahead and grate your ginger. Just use fresh grated ginger if you have it. That'd be great. Go ahead and whisk those together, and now you can add your pineapple and your cranberries. Those should already be cooled. And now you can just combine the two. Just stir them in gently with a spatula. Don't over mix it or anything. I've already lined my cake pans with parchment paper, and I greased the sides as well. So I'll just go ahead and pour your batter in both of your pans. I'm using 2 9-inch pans. Okay, we'll go ahead and bake that at 350 for about 25 to 30 minutes, or until your toothpick is inserted and it comes out clean and dry. All right? And then just go ahead and you can put those on a cooling rack. I like to put mine on a cooling rack, but you're going to get those little lines on there if you do that. But that's how I like to cool my cakes. And once they're cool, don't let them cool too long. Let them cool for about 15 minutes, just until it's cool enough to handle. And then I like to cut mine in 2, so I'll have a 4-layer cake, and I use a serrated knife to do that. And now this is just an extra step here that I take. I think it really makes cakes very moist, especially when you're working with fruits or berries or something like that in your cake. So I like to wrap it up in saran wrap really good, each layer, and then put it in the freezer for about 12 to 24 hours. Don't let it go longer than 24 hours, or that exact opposite could happen. You could dry out your cake. Okay, and all this is going to do is just kind of lock in that moisture. I kind of compare it to how you let a steak rest. This kind of just locks in that moisture in the cake. Okay, so after about 24 hours, you can go ahead and pull it out of your freezer, and you might have a few ice crystals on there. That's okay. You can leave them on there or just brush them off if you want to, and we will begin to frost our cake. When I frost my cakes, I like to just kind of pat it, and so it gives it a nice like fluffy whipped look. think it looks pretty, and it's really easy to do it that way. It's very imperfect. And so I also happen to have some nasturtiums in my garden, so I picked a few edible flowers and I put some orange sugar crystals on top too, because I just happened to have them, and it gave it a little bit of a shimmer. It turned out really pretty, and the family gave me a big thumbs up on this cake, so I thought I wanted to make sure to show you guys this recipe. So it turned out really good. It's real moist and delicious, and I'll show you how to make the cream cheese frosting in another video. Okay, so I hope you can give it a try. Thanks so much for watching, and have a beautiful day.